Congratulations! Woohoo! You have made it out of ancient China. Woo! Yes! Good job. Thank you guys all for doing such a fabulous job getting that work completed, sending me your test. I am in the process of grading those, and so far you guys are doing awesome. So good job. Keep up the good work. We are moving on to ancient Greece. This is a very fun unit to study. But we're going to start today by previewing the chapter, and we'll be completing page 120 in your history packet. So get that handy. You're going to want that for the video. Page 120 looks like this. It is the very first page in your packet. So get this out, pause the video, be ready, have it handy. You're also going to want your textbook handy today so that you can preview through the text with me. All right, so let's see here. Let's take a look at page 120. So our very first question up at the top, it says, what is power? Who should have it? Now that's a very interesting question, especially for times right now that we're going through. You probably have noticed that very quickly we can see how much power the government has. They're able to close down sports, close down schools. They were able to maybe even say some employees couldn't go to work for our national health, of course, but that is power, right? Them being able to do that. So we're going to look at what is power, who should have it, as we're thinking about those questions, studying the ancient Greeks. All right, so question 1 at the top of our page says, what are some synonyms of the word power? Now you could turn to the thesaurus. You can go to thesaurus.com to look for synonyms of the word power. There are several listed there. I picked my top 3. You can write down those with me, or you can take a look at your own. I just want to get my cursor. Here we go. I'm going to answer it right here underneath. So my top 3 words that were synonyms for power were capability. That was one listed on thesaurus.com. Capacity and influence. Those are the ones that really stood out to me. But you don't have to pick those. You could pick your own if you would like. And then question number 2, list at least 4 members or groups who are active in your school community. Place the letter next to the person or group on the line below to show where each falls on the power scale, from little power to great power. All right, so I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. So first group that I think of is you guys. I think of students. So students, you're a group involved in our school community. Then maybe teachers. We've got our teachers here at the school. Maybe we've got administrators. That would be Pastor Forrest, Mrs. Campbell. But then we have another group of people here at the school that we would say maybe our support staff. So folks like Mrs. Tribble, who help us with all our IT needs. Folks like Mrs. Shaw, who helps us with the library. We have a great amount of support staff here at the school. So I would put them on here as well. So those are just some groups of people that I think of that are involved in our community here at our school. Now what we need to do is rate them from the least amount of power to the most amount of power. Well, I think no brainer, first off the list, the administrators have the most amount of power, right? So they are going to be over on that side of our scale. Now, I hate to tell you this, but when it comes to making decisions, the students probably have the least amount of power. I mean, I think that you guys probably would agree with me there. If you disagree with me, write your comments in the comment. But I'm thinking you guys probably have the least amount of power. I mean, when it comes to, like, what are we learning? When it comes to what time do you go to recess? What time do you go to lunch? You guys don't really have much power in those decisions. So, yeah, we're going to put you there at the bottom. Sorry, it's true. All right, now we've got teachers and support staff. You know, I feel like they're fairly equal. Maybe teachers have a little bit more, but I would put them both towards the middle. So we've got our support staff, and also we have our teachers. So somewhere along those lines. But if you've got your own ideas or you disagree with me, you can feel free to drop a comment below and we can talk about that. And I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's my ideas. So you put your own there. Who are our groups in our school community, and what is their level of power from least to greatest. All right, let's take a look here at the next portion on page 120. It says, skim the chapter, text, subheads, and visuals. So skim does not mean read. It means look at the pictures. Look at the headings. Look at the captions. Okay? We're going to be looking for information about how power is divided in ancient Greece, about the division of power in ancient Greece. Use the information to complete the second row of the table below. So they completed the first row. So the first row, let's take a look at what they have here. Who holds power? They have power goes to the wealthiest, power goes to the strongest, power goes to the most experienced, and power goes to all citizens. So what we're going to do is we're going to skim through our book, just looking at pictures, just looking at headings, trying to figure out where each of those go. Where and when did each of those happen? So hopefully you have your textbook handy. I've got my teacher edition here. Let's start by taking a look on page 300. This is the very beginning of section 1. So again, we're looking for any pictures, any headings that show us anything that has to do with power. So power going to the wealthiest, the strongest, most experienced, or all citizens. Take a look with me. You can pop in your comments if you see where these examples are. I'm looking on page 302 now. Oh, you know what? I see this, the heading says Minoan civilization, but the pictures here look like really elaborate palaces. So that might be an example of power goes to the wealthiest. We haven't read the text yet, so we're just making guesses here. So where and when, I might guess the Minoan civilization. That's power going to the wealthiest. I mean, it looks like it from the pictures. That palace looks pretty elaborate with very ornate walls. So I'm going to guess that. All right, power to the strongest now. Let's keep looking. Power to the strongest. Let's turn page 304. We see Corinth. Ooh, that's a city listed in the Bible, right? The book of Corinthians. Power going to the strongest. So I'm going to keep turning here. I see a heading that says Women in Ancient Greece. Interesting. I see a Greek vase, page 307. 308. Look at that. There's a chart there, and it shows citizens and non-citizens. So it says people in ancient Greece were ranked according to their social or legal status. The main division was between free people and the enslaved. Of the free, only citizens took part in government. That says power goes to citizens. So that seems to fit there. Maybe ancient Greek society. So what could I put in my box for ancient Greek society? Let's just list that there. Again, we're not reading any of the text. We're just previewing the chapter at this point. So if you feel like we're being too vague, it's okay. That's what the point of this activity is. It's a preview. It's okay. All right, let's keep looking. Power goes to the strongest. Power goes to the most experienced. Let's keep looking. We are turning and looking through the whole chapter. So now I'm on page 312. I see democracy is in Athens. Okay. People of power on page 314. Now we're really talking about power, right? Okay, let's see. Let's look at these other headings. Beginnings of democracy, later reforms, the age of Pericles, education for democracy, Athenian democracy at work. It seems to me that that power of the citizens is going to be Athens. All right, we're going to add that there. All right, we're going to continue to turn. We're going to continue to look here. We're looking now on page 318, oligarchy in Sparta. Now, if you remember when we did our charts with monarchy, oligarchy, democracy, and tyranny, we talked about oligarchy was the power of the wealthy, right? The rich. They were coming together to form groups. So I remember that, and I'm looking here at our pictures, our headings, the Spartan state, a disciplined society on page 320. So I think those clues telling us about the oligarchy, power going to the most experienced, maybe we could put Sparta there. All right, and power going to the strongest. And that's the end of our chapter. So let's go back. I feel like I saw something on tyranny. Yes, on page 314, tyranny. That's probably talking about power going to the strongest there. So again, we find that in the section talking about Athens, the rise of the phalanx. Many city-states' power began to shift. Oh, we're not supposed to be reading, sorry. So I think that's probably going to be what led to that tyranny. So I'm going to make that prediction and put that there. So that's how those activities work. When we're previewing the chapter, we're not reading. We're just kind of looking at the pictures. We're making guesses. We see a picture of that group of soldiers there, so we can make a guess that maybe they're the strongest. Okay, it's just meant for you guys to preview. It's not meant for you to learn all the information now. We'll do that as we dive into the reading each day. All right, now number 4. After reading the chapter, return to this page, change any answers that were incorrect. So that's going to be on you guys. We made some predictions here, but after you read, go ahead and change them, add more details after you read. So what I would like you to do now is on your own, preview through the chapter, look at the pictures, the headings, the titles, and I want you to add your illustration. Where'd my packet go? Here it is. Add your illustration to your cover page. Okay, draw a picture to represent our chapter on the Greeks, and then I want you to write the date and page 120 because check, you've completed that. So that's your work for today. Just add that illustration there on the cover page and you are good to go. I'll see you again tomorrow. All right, bye.